In here somewhere.
In here somewhere. What a fantastic card. But what's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE. Joined here by my number one, Mr. Cole Robbie.
Hello, hello.
And the perpetual red shirt himself, Dexter.
Hello, everybody.
One day you'll understand that reference. I hope you do.
I was gonna ask, what is red shirt in Keyforge term?
Oh, it's not a Keyforge. It's totally a Star Trek.
Yeah, I know what you're saying to him in Star Trek, but I don't want to, give it away. So I'm wondering if there's a reason that Dexter is.
No, just you hang around with Dexter long enough, he's probably the one that's gonna die in the away party. Just learn. You learn things.
Fair enough.
He's still young. He's like, oh, look, piece of candy, or gets into some stranger's all blacked out van, things like this. So those are things Dexter does.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
A piece of candy.
Yep. But we got lots to go over today. No time to waste. I don't know if we're gonna need the full hour, I think.
You want to skip the uniques and everything else? Go right into all the articles?
I think we should. What are your feelings, Cole? You good with skipping? I mean, Carl's Jr. is going to be upset at us, but I think this week they'll understand.
We can save the U, but I think we hit marketplace and events because it kind of wraps us into the main topics we're going to be talking about.
All right, so let's go through the marketplace. I'm going to put it into, as we speak, I'm putting it into my Google browser to find out where we are. Gamers Guild still looks to be the best deal that you can get. $68.52 for a box of normal Beyond the Gates. Kickstarter edition, you're looking at $144.99.
Yep. And then pre-orders, $95.
I'm trying to look at pre-order. Yeah, $94.49 for pre-orders for Trial by Frost is where you're looking at for, and that is also Gamers Guild. So go shout out to Gamers Guild.
I think Gamers Guild sold out, right?
I no.
Let's see.
I can still order it. Gamers
Guild. So I knew that Game Nerds had it for pre-order.
Game Nerds. I can go to Game Nerds too.
I didn't know Gamers Guild had it as well. They have basically the same price.
Yeah, Gamers Guild 8 is these are the cheapest prices. There are some boxes. So Gamers Guild still got it cheaper than eBay. I was gonna say there's a few places on eBay where you can find them at on the low, but buyer beware. Obviously, it's eBay. Probably use your PayPal account so you can get your money back when somebody sends you an empty box or something stupid like that.
As of now, Gamers Guild does show 14 in stock of pre-orders for Trial by Frost. However, and this is something that we'll talk about when we dive into the articles, if you pre-order from Gamers Guild or Game Nerds, from my understanding, these online pre-orders are for launch, not for pre-release. So these will not arrive and or ship until the 31st.
So you will not get these for the because the pre-release is the 17th, correct?
24th.
24th, yeah, because the 17th is when we're actually talking. I'm getting my dates mixed up. It's been a long week. But yeah, okay, so good to know there. Do we just get right? Do you want to dive right into? I know you said this was going to take us into our next thing.
Yeah, so events will kind of wrap us into what we'll talk about here in the articles. For events, we have 2 weeks left of the ACE tournaments. So you have 2 weeks left to qualify for the championship where the bulk of prizing is. And then after that, we will likely have a couple off weeks where we'll have a little bit of fun. And then it'll be full steam ahead into including Trial by Frost. I cannot speak for what the other tournaments are going to do, but it should be similar. AWOL still has your EU time on Monday, your NA time on Wednesday. Keylon Guys bi-weekly is coming up. Go for Altered has been doing a lot recently. But for our Texas folk. Pre-release that I have tracked so far, and these will be added on the alteredcorner.com website when I hear about them. Cards and Comics and Aegis in Houston. Cards and Comics is in Conroe. I got in trouble for calling it Houston once, but they are both doing...
It's up north Houston.
They are both doing pre-release events on the 25th. And the Aegis one is in the morning, and Cards and Comics is in the afternoon. So if you want to drive, you can hit both. And for DFW and Austin, I am still working on confirmation on who will have a pre-release and when.
So for those of you in the Milwaukee area, since we're going to do by location, Battle Brothers is now offered, which is odd. Battle Brothers is traditionally a miniatures wargaming place. Looks like they're doing Tuesdays. They got January 14th, January 21st, and January 28th, which are all Tuesdays. 28th, the 14th. Yep, all Tuesdays. Thanks. But why are Tuesdays such a popular day to do weird games? Sanctum Gaming is doing some stuff on the 15th and the 29th. That is down by your boy Dr. Sheep down in Racine. So you can get there also from Chicago, not too far if you're in Illinois. And Kryptonite Collectibles. That's again Dr. Sheep's joint. Looks like they're doing the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. So Sunday. I didn't recognize that.
Battle Brothers is doing their Trial by Frost pre-release event on February 1st. I don't think that's how a pre-release works.
Well, these are okay. So Battle Brothers, I think if you read the whole title, it's a Battle Brothers miniature wargaming. They are traditionally, I know they've been dabbling lately. They're traditionally a miniatures wargaming place. I know they hold some Magic stuff because, Magic pays the bills, as it does anywhere. But other than that, that's that. I'm not seeing my normal place that I was trying to get to. Maybe they're not running anything anymore, but everything, it just says standard, which I'm guessing is a constructed event.
Yeah.
I don't know what other is. What would other be?
Whatever they decide, I guess.
Yeah, whatever we're doing this week. And you got some good Illinois places. You got Prism Games. I've been there. Pastime Comics. Never been there. If you're down in the Illinois area, looks like Prism's doing all sorts of stuff with Altered. Lots of stuff with Altered. This, I don't know where this is. Muskegon? I bet you this is in...
It's a lot in Washington, Jesus.
Yeah.
Smoking stogies in Muskogee?
We used to play a game, and we still do whenever we have people that are from out of state. We give them all the names, all the Wisconsin names that are hard for people to pronounce. Maybe we'll play that game here one day. Oh, the Game Center. Look at this. Roseville, Minnesota, January 20th. They are not running a pre-release event. I just see these two events for them, so...
We might get into some tea when we start reading the articles. So if you're a drama enjoyer,
I love drama. I also love stirring the pot. So let's get into the articles. We are going to go into these in chronological order. So the first one we had, did we do the Trial by Frost pre-release? I believe we did.
No, we haven't read the article. There are a couple cool things to point out.
Why don't you go ahead and point out that from that article? I don't remember anything off the top of my head.
Okay, so this is, I think going in chronological order had you picking the T first. So, all right, pre-release. So if you didn't already know, because somehow, some way, Asmodee has seemingly been really amazing at letting distributors and stores know that a pre-release for Altered does exist.
What you're telling me and what I'm hearing, I'm sorry, Keyforge used to be an Asmodee game.
Yep.
So I am quite familiar with as actually probably a lot of you are, believe it or not, with Asmodee's fantastic communication skills. I don't know if Asmodee knows anything, but Settlers of Catan exists to sell to their people. In fact, back in the day with Keyforge, you had to actually have your store remind them that they sell Keyforge, so they would actually sell it to you. So Asmodee is kind of, I guess, in the EU and overseas, they're significantly better. But here in the US, they suck what we like to call balls.
Yeah, so I would say if you are a refugee from the Keyforge world or any of the couple other TCGs that Asmodee used to do, or even if you're listening from Archons Corner, you will be well aware of the issues. Unfortunately, I have done about all I can to help because today is the last day, which is the 10th of January, for stores to place their orders for launch. Meaning, if at the very least they wanted to get stuff for the 31st, today was the last day. Now stores will be able to order after, but it won't come in time for launch.
Is there anything special coming in the pre-release? Like, if I'm going to the pre-release, is there anything special I'm getting in my like? Is there any like promo card?
They will have the promo
like
boosters and the set 2 packs, but I don't think there's anything particular other than that.
Yeah, so this is where there's another issue. So I've been working with a couple different people, a couple different stores, trying to get them to talk to their Asmodee rep to get information so that we can actually have pre-releases. So how pre-release is suggested to work from Equinox is to do a sealed deck format. So you'll get 7 booster packs, and then you can play up to 3 different factions, yada yada, those normal rules. But it is also the start of Season 2, and so any pre-release you attend will start towards your Season 2 Adventure Pass, which we'll go over one of the other articles here in a moment.
Yes.
And this will be the first chance where you'll be able to get Trial by Frost promo boosters, hypothetically. I have heard from a person or two that when they reached out to their rep at Asmodee, they were told there are no benefits for pre-release. There's no promo boosters, things like that.
Weird.
Equinox themselves is aware of this issue and is trying to get on them about it. So we're
Godspeed,
hoping,
Equinox. Godspeed.
Yeah, we're hoping that it gets fixed with as many stores as possible. The other thing is, I think when attending any Trial by Frost pre-release, you'll be offered an adventure pack, which is a complete set of 5 premium adventure cards with the new Trial by Frost design. So it's the new Tumult cards. It'll give you a full set so that you don't have to buy a starter deck to get them. These cards, for the first time, will also be in booster packs. But those things are the intended pre-release items. Unfortunately, I can't say for 100% that every store will have them for pre-release.
At least it's not something crazy, right? Like, you know, like Pokemon does their pre-release, like some of the stuff you can only get in their pre-release packs. You know, Magic does something kind of similar. But theirs are just like they're foiled stamped cards, so
yeah. So worst case scenario, if a store does hold a pre-release event and they don't have it, I would assume if they do a launch event or they do an OP day after they get them, then they'll be able to hand them out there. Because that's actually a really good thing for players to have a pack of those 5 cards. If you already have them, you get the new cool ones for Trial by Frost. If you don't, then you have them to be able to play with anyone else. So
They say premium in the like. What's more premium? It's just new art, right?
Just different art.
yeah, I don't know.
They're not like
There's no
thicker
indication it's
or
made of a
like
different material.
all of a sudden now they're foil.
It doesn't look like it.
I am not gonna say that I have one because I don't, but I think they are the same
as he strokes his foil cards in the corner.
It is not. No, I don't have one. But if I did, it would not be foil.
Oh, NDAs. Anyways, getting on to it, let's move into what is the Adventure Pass and the Season 2 booster. Promo boosters for Season 2. So, Expeditions are the most popular altered events at your local game store. Store organized weekly events, sometimes several times in a week, where you can try your hand at Constructed, where you need to come with a deck, or limited, where you'll be provided booster packs to build your deck game formats. Attending an expedition will reward you with 1 level on your Adventure Pass, provided you've activated it. More on Adventure Pass activation below. And your store can also reward you with promo boosters. They give it's the same 3-card booster pack that we all know and love,
That's not the same.
Well, really?
Dexter, you're
gonna be one of those kids, or what's the deal?
Yeah. Let's hear the gripe, Dexter.
So for slot 1, it was originally common, rare, and unique foilers, and now they've switched it to just rare and unique, which is good. I like not having to get common foilers that probably aren't going to get use. So that's
how am I going to bling
change.
out my entire deck if I don't have common foilers?
Well, those are pretty easy to get in booster packs.
Okay,
You'll probably have plenty of those. Is the thing that we're looking at here.
All right, fine.
And then slot 2 here we have alt art commons and alt art rares, which before we had alt art heroes, and now it's just alt art cards. So that's fine. No more promo heroes just because it's set 2 now. And then so slot 3 is now only a 25% chance to get a unique, and it's a 75% chance to get an alt art rare. In the set 1 booster packs, it was a 40% chance to get a unique. So that's my gripe here. Less chance to get a unique in these promo booster packs.
So I was about to get into that. They have, it's still the same 3-card booster pack though.
Yes.
There's
still 3 cards.
The
percentages and rarities are different.
The percentages and rarities are a little bit different. They may, you especially like to post all of the, busted uniques you run into. Maybe they realize, hey,
I run into a lot of them.
Maybe we should slow this down a bit. Maybe we're releasing too many with the amount we have to put into the market. Maybe we're releasing too many uniques. I mean, that could be a burden on the system for all we know. You know what I mean? Like, and are too many uniques becoming too much alike each other? Where now, you hunt and seek out 3 of these 3 very similar uniques and you're broken and busted. I don't know. I'm just
I still think that will be possible set 2.
I had to let Dexter take the reins there because I am I don't want to say the voice of reason because I don't know if that's fair, but I don't care about this change. I think it's a negligible percentage difference for a better overall benefit. Because in Season 1, you had a bunch of different promos for the heroes. You had common foilers, which had a pretty high percentage. You had the alt art tokens.
I like the alt art tokens.
But
you don't need more than one.
Exactly. One of the biggest complaints over and over about Season 1 was getting the same tokens or the same promo over and over. And people didn't want to keep doing that. So people complained about a thing. Season 2 promo boosters solve that exact thing. So now...
Yeah. Also, don't forget, Dexter, it is a significantly smaller set.
Yes, that is also true. The alt arts though are sick, so I'm stoked.
Yeah, they do look good.
I like all the alt arts.
Go visit the article to see the alt arts because they're pretty cool. You will still get unique cards. All of them from Trial by Frost will return, and brand new mechanics and foilers. But now you'll also get exclusive alt art characters that are featured in the story. There are 6 of them, and then you can go, common, rare, and rare F out of faction. And you can look at all of them.
Arts characters, or are some of them spells or landmarks? It looks like they're all characters to me.
Well, let's read that again, Dexter. You're in college.
Does it say characters?
Let's use our context clues. You'll still get uniques. Okay, that's cool.
It does say
but now you'll also get exclusive alt art characters that are featured in the. Oh, it's just characters.
Okay.
You'd think for a
Loki.
college kid, your reading comprehension would be a little bit higher. I'm just saying. Season 2 Adventure Pass. The Adventure Pass is a fun way to get rewarded for attending any official Altered events, no matter your results. Play Altered at your local game store, get an additional level on your Adventure Pass, and unlock exclusive rewards. So how does this work? All right. I already have problems with this. So, is this where the T is, Cole?
No, we went over the T. With the
the change
Asmodee being Asmodee, and then
no one was shocked. Nobody was surprised. Everyone was like, I felt the collective sigh of everyone being like, yeah, that seems about right. Like,
and then the U percentage drop. But I will say it was very funny in the main Discord. Someone was like, well, it's Asmodee's first TCG, right? They're bound to have growing pains. And I was like, oh, friend.
Oh, girl, sit down. Let me tell you. If you think this is their first TCG, let me tell you about Oh, man. What was the Star Wars one they had with dice?
Destiny, I think, is the one that really, really pissed people off.
Yep,
right?
that is the one that really pissed. And I think they had TCGs before that as well. That's the one that comes to mind, though, whenever you want to talk about a game company completely fumbling pure gold. But at the beginning of Season 2, January 4th, for Season 2, remember to activate your Adventure Pass on your Altered account. You can find an Enter, and then you can use that URL there to connect. When activating your pass, reading's fundamental. You'll be presented with a choice between the 6 different factions. Choose carefully the faction that you want to represent, because some rewards are exclusive to your faction, and it might also have an impact on competitive organized play rewards later in the season.
So we kind of been zooming. So here's a good point to ask you two your opinion. This part is actually kind of a point of contention to some people.
I'm irritated about this.
Okay, so you'll be a good person to speak on it. I am a person, obviously. I'm Muna. It doesn't matter what any of the other cards are. I'm going to pick Muna before even knowing what the cards are.
I'm gonna pick Ordis,
and I'm gonna be happy with whatever it is.
You're talking about picking. Yeah. You're talking about picking picking a faction. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Lyra.
But other people are upset if they play Muna, but they really like the Lyra card, and now they're like, "Oh, I'm so conflicted and whatnot." Or
I actually had this question. So if I pick Lyra but show up to my local with a Ysmir deck, am I still putting points? I'm putting points towards Lyra, right?
Yep. Okay. It just
you can only go into one, and it's the one that you activate at the beginning.
Yep, and it just is what you get the alt art of. Then the other complaint is if I finish my pass, I want to do another one with another faction, which you currently can't do, is how they've worded it. But to those people, I say, how about you stop being greedy and you just
and having all your locals and stuff. Some of us don't have all of that.
Yeah, well, and like I think the other thing too to remember, these are alt arts, right? Well, that we know of currently, right? So for this season, the exclusive Adventure Pass alt art rewards featuring the Icebound landmarks with 1 to unlock, and its different rarities for each faction. So this isn't something you can't go get like there's gonna be regular versions too. Yes, there will be alt art. But like there are regular versions too. These aren't exclusive, like, oh, you can only get these here. So it's I don't think it's the biggest of deals. My biggest of deals is this seems like they are very much hard limiting this to brick and mortar stores.
Correct. Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I push my glasses up and put my finger in the air. There are some of us who don't have brick and mortar stores to go to. I mean, I just talked about Sanctum and Kryptonite Gaming, which are in Wisconsin, but are still an hour trip one way to get there to go and play. Now, so one of them is on a Sunday, so that might not be an issue.
Hour trip, that's a Texas Tuesday. What you complaining about?
I mean, that's a long trip, on a Tuesday, right? Like, like this is, I'm going to assume, mainly played by mostly adults. We live very busy lives in 2025, like this isn't just easy to, hey, it's this night and I gotta leave by 3 to get there by 5, it's this, that's where, and again, I understand it's alt art, so it's not the end of the world for some of us who don't care as much about art, i.e. me.
It is foilers as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, I like foils, but I'm probably, I'm not gonna, blinging out your whole deck is fun. That's never been who I am, though, right? Like, I'd like to maybe attempt it one day, but it just seems, especially right now, the landscape of what we consider meta is changing so quickly. I wouldn't even want to use any of my foilers not that I even could, but that I'd want to use them at any given time, just because
you don't know if that deck will be viable.
Here today, gone tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know.
Yeah. So I think the response to that complaint is twofold. I think the official position from organized play, which is most often Justin, is the adventure pass is to hopefully increase attendance at local game stores, which has been really hard in the US. There are a lot more initiatives spinning up this year to help out with that. Asmodee has zero help with that, is what I'll say. And their philosophy internally is they don't support online initiatives. It's been a complaint with Star Wars Unlimited.
I would say that's Asmodee as a whole, right? Like they don't do online. Like they're like, online, what's that? Like the internet hasn't been a thing for almost 40 years now. Jeez, 40 years. Oh my goodness. At this point, you know what I mean? They're just like, we don't know. It was a problem with Keyforge. It's still a problem with Unlimited. Like they don't want to do anything with online, which is just when most of what everyone is doing is online, such a terrible response by Asmodee.
Yep. So I've spoken with the team a lot, and we run the ACE events every Tuesday, which are 100% online. I've asked for the possibility of anything we could give out, and the answer is always, that's an Asmodee question because they handle that side of things, and then it's a dead, complete brick wall with Asmodee. In person is a little easier because the Equinox team get, marketing products like maybe boxes or posters, things like that. So if one of them can show up to a physical location, they can just say, oh, these are my marketing items I'm bringing for this event. So I've seen Loki and Justin both be like, if I can make it out to this event and, there's going to be enough people, I will bring my stuff to help out. So unfortunately, the online stuff is far away for now, at least.
Yeah. So here's what I can tell you. If you are close to a store, I'm not giving anything away because this is what we did in FFG days with Keyforge. Get close to a local store, right? If you probably already have one you're decently close with, and ask them to just sign up for the events, cover the cost for them. That's what we always did. We always covered the cost for the store, whatever the kit was, however much it was, and then you can run your events online through the store. Wink, you know what I mean? Like, Dr. Sheep over by us does it actually through his store. I used to do it through TK Games out here. You know, hey, if you can sign me up, like they're not technically for resale, but you throw them a few dollars, you know. I think that the things were like $35. I used to give them like $50-$60. Like, hey, thanks for helping me out. And then we'd hand out the prizes that way. And it's very easy in this game too, when it's all pretty much all digital, right? You can open it up on camera, scan them in, send pictures, or you can just send them to pack, I guess, too, as long as it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg in the US.
Yeah, and if you do have a store that's close to you that you frequent, you prefer, you can always ask them. The more people that ask them, like, hey, are you going to carry Altered? Are you going to do Altered Organized Play? The more likely that they are going to do it. A lot of the stores in Texas are probably still going and maybe even started because of the Texas Discord server and people in the community asking for it. So that's just, it's been really grassroots right now. Endor in the live audience chat says, yeah, the closest event is 2 hours away, so the adventure pass is out of reach. Yeah, I got to level 6, and that was the best I could do. The store I go to is about 45-50 minutes away on a Thursday, which was murdered by the weather this week, so
the weather.
I hope. Yeah.
What was it? 44 this week and sunny?
Yeah, we had
in the
winter
30s and 40s.
advisory. Yeah, you're in Houston.
What's a winter advisory in Texas? But
below 40s
usually
winter
ice.
advisory.
Yeah, usually ice. Lots of ice. Too dangerous to drive.
We had ice today. I went to work.
We had a little bit of sleet.
Yeah, I
No snow,
appreciate the
real
fact
ice.
that Texas closes, because when I lived in Utah, it was like you have to shovel your car out and it can barely make it down the road. Well, you better be at work.
Yeah, and on time.
Yeah. So I appreciate that places are like, the roads are going to be icy. People are going to be sliding into each other. How about we just don't?
Yeah. Man, I wish. All right, season 2 starts on January 4th. We already knew that. Any altered events you attend after January 4th?
24th.
Or I'm sorry, 24th. What did I say?
You said 4th.
You just forgot the 2.
That has passed already.
It happens. We'll count towards your progression on the season 2 adventure pass, so remember to activate it on the 24th. If you plan on attending the pre-release, as such, season 1 will end on the 23rd at midnight. And it will no longer be possible to create a season 1 events. Stores will be following week to close and validate player registration for these last events on January 31st. You will unlock the rewards you have earned through your Adventure Pass Season 1.
Yep.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's exciting. Adventure Pass, for those of you who have locals, that is, this is something other games would murder someone for. Just saying.
Yeah. I hate to always compare to Star Wars Unlimited, but it's the other game that's newer that I've done stuff for and then somewhat part of the community. Their promo boosters are very good.
Hogwash?
And
garbage? Dumpster fires?
Yeah, many promo cards that are just worth nothing from Star Wars.
Unplayable?
Oh my gosh, don't get me started. Their promo cards are so bad. But anyways, we have another article.
We do have another article, and it's talking about Season 2 for an OP program. It's so weird to be on a podcast talking about an OP program at a local store event. With Trial by Frost releasing at the end of the month on January 31st. Wow, reading is not in my sub category today. We're nearing the end of Season 1 and the start of Season 2 of Organized Play. With Season 2, we're premiering a lot of new things. pre-releases, new promo booster content, as well as the introduction of the official competitive events, the T-Molt Championship, which we'll detail further in this article. First, we'd like to thank everyone for Season 1. So thank you, everyone, for Season 1. It's
Yay.
really been heartwarming to see players embrace the world of Altered, the cards, the heroes, and building decks to explore organized play. But with your most powerful uniques or your most fun creations. But we can't forget the artists, cosplayers, storytellers, community builders who are in it for what Altered represents. You also contributed a lot to what makes Altered the game it is. So thank you. Next time you see Cole, thank him. Like, hey, thanks, Cole, for doing what you do.
If you have not read through all of the articles on Altered, they also often do community member articles. Just maybe keep
an eye out.
Your eye open.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe.
Community member articles. Keep an eye out. Coming soon. All right, so what's next? Well, next is more Altered because we have a lot in store for you, and we can't wait for you all to discover it. I hate that word, by the way. Discover.
What did Discover do to you?
Well, coming from a Keyforge background, right? Like there used to be another podcast who will not be named, who used to very much talk about the discovery of a new deck and discovery, and they just killed the word for me. And now every time I hear somebody be like, I need to discover this set, I'm like, I will murder you in the backyard and no one will know. I don't mean it. I'm really a gentle giant, but they just killed that word for me, and it's just now it's over. But Season 2 starts on January 24th with the pre-releases. The new set takes you beyond the borders of Asgartha to Kais Andara. Did I say that right?
I'm going to say yes, and we'll just keep going.
So nobody knows. A steep range of mountains shrouded in eternal winter. Real challenges await you as you make your way to the tops, and only the most skillful and resilient among you will be able to claim the title of T-Molt Champion. But first, let's get a look at the new stuff available to anyone attending an expedition event during Season 2. Does this seem like Pokemon to you a little bit? Like we've unlocked a new region?
I mean, it's not too far off with the lore in a way. You know, there was the confluence, worlds colliding, things like that. And very relevant to what I've been doing today is I started watching Godzilla X Kong, the new whatever the hell, and they're like going down into the, what do they call it, the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
And then they find out that there's more Hollow Earth in the Hollow Earth. So, it could happen.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, it's
I
the
haven't
one
watched-
where I think Godzilla gets like the pink spines.
I haven't watched that one yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I started it for the first time today, just like watching on breaks and stuff. But yeah, worlds within worlds, not too far off.
All right. Where did I leave off? All right. The promo booster and the adventure pass were widely successful in Season 1, and they're returning for Season 2 with updates and new content for both of them. An entirely new batch of Trial by Frost unique cards is up for grabs inside promo boosters, meaning new mechanic combinations and brand new cards, so you can find that one unique your deck really, really needs, alongside 6 characters featured in the story. Get their own exclusive alt art available in common, rare, and out of faction rare. Did you hear that, Dexter? Characters. The Adventure Pass not only provides a great chance at foilers, but features newest seasonal badges as well as new Trial by Frost alt arts, the Icebound landmarks, that you can start unlocking as soon as January 4th with the pre-release. All right, so then we get into the T-Molt Championship. And I'll tell you what this reminds me of when we're done with it. But with Trial by Force, we wanted stakes to feel even higher. I added the even. And competitive play to be the forefront of the season of organized play. For this season, we're introducing T-Molt Championships, a limited seasonal event for players to prove themselves and lead their faction to the top. In fact, leading your faction will be more important than ever. More details for the Team-Ult Championships, what it entails, and rewards will be available around February. For now, however, we can tell you that you can expect those to take place towards the end of the season. How long is the season in Altered? Is it about 4 months?
I think it's three-ish. Yeah.
A little bit more than 3.
January, February, March. I think set 3 will probably be end of March.
Really? That quick?
I'm trying to remember the dates. It might be end of April.
I was say like April, May would make more sense.
Yeah, maybe that'll be it. I think there are 3 months between sets is what the target is. So yeah,
that's
yeah.
quick. That's
1
quick.
big set and 3 small sets in a year, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
So the season should be about 3 months. Yeah.
All right. Well, either way, it's a best of 1 standard construction where the winner will be rewarded the exclusive champion playmat.
Beautiful. Love that playmat.
Do you like this one? I'm not a huge fan of this art, but
I love it,
like
and I hate that it has to be an Ortis character.
Ortis, yeah.
of course it does.
Nice.
I'm ready to see that Ortis character. We haven't seen
I
that
think we
before,
have. Have we? I've seen this art so many times now. It's ridiculous.
I thought this one was revealed this week.
I thought it was too.
I don't remember.
All right.
Well,
There's been too many cards revealed.
That
17th.
is not wrong. Each store will have the opportunity to hold its own Team-Ult championship for season 2. And because we also want to reward players that chose to enter tournaments with their favorite faction and not necessarily their strongest deck, we'll also have a reward for the top ranking player of each faction. Thank God. Oh, sorry. Did I say that aloud?
Yeah, we did this at PAX. PAX was technically the first time they tested this, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool.
All right, so end of February, we are looking at Team-Ult championships. This sounds to me like store championships of old, if anybody can remember those.
Yep.
Just me? Okay, I was going to say, just me? I'm the God, am I that old?
I was drinking water.
Oh, okay. But yeah, store champ, it's Team-Ult championships. Are they having these every season then? Or is this kind of, we're playing around with the idea?
Probably.
Yeah, I will admit that I do not have any secret extra insight into competitive outside of things that are pretty general knowledge, being the Confluence event is going to happen sometime around July-ish in the US, which will be like the Worlds. But I don't know if this will be a test, like Season 0 kind of vibes, or it'll be a thing that sticks around. I'm not certain.
I mean, once a set seems a bit much, but every so often, like a couple times, maybe once a year. I don't know. Like, I guess still to this day, I'm baffled by like what does the altered organized play schedule look like? I don't feel like we have like a very like clear path to like what it is.
Yeah,
right? We know about the Confluence, right? We know that's going to be like the big end all be all event. Well, hopefully. But like what leads up to that? Are there other events that are going to be in place that lead up to this? Is everyone just in Worlds automatically? You can just show up and play?
That is a yes, I can say. But I think it'll be kind of like if you've, once again, comparing to Star Wars, but if you've looked into the Galactic Championship, there is a way where you can qualify to be playing in the specific championship, which is the planetary qualifiers or whatever the other one is they have. But there will also be a lot of side events and other tournaments and things like that on the same day at the same place that anyone can attend. And that'll be the same for the Confluence. It won't be just the competitive tournament with viewers. It'll be kind of like a little bit of something for everyone.
Which is kind of standard for like a Worlds event. I know most games have kind of backed off from calling it like Worlds. They call it a celebration or what is Magic calling it now? Are they calling it a celebration too? I don't know. I forget
actually.
what they're calling their championship series, but they used to use far more aggressive verbiage, and now it's kind of not.
Yeah.
So
But I don't know if there will be like a point qualifier or anything. Hopefully, we'll hear some more in February.
because like right now in Keyforge, like I have to win a vault to even be able to be considered to go into the world champion, to go into worlds.
Yep.
So like I can't just show up. You can just show up at celebrations, and they do have last chance qualifiers and all that. But like you have to
And
place
side
first or
events.
second in a vault
To be in the
to even
championship.
be in the worlds event. Like I had to go to Gen Con and place second in Gen Con to get my invite to worlds, which kind of makes you want to go to all these like little events all around, like which kind of made people chase a lot too, right?
hmm
I don't know. Again, it's some sort of clear definition of what they're. I mean, it's great we have store OP, but like, what is that next step up for those real chads? Is it chads or johnnies? Maybe it's
Johnny's
spikes. That's what it is for the real spikes of the group.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, we get a little more of a picture in February because that'll be dope.
I mean, because I'd like to go to some events. You know, we got especially in Milwaukee, we have and this is more of a again miniature gaming thing, but we have. Oh, I just talked about it last night. What is coming to Milwaukee? It used to be in Schaumburg, Illinois. It's the big wargaming thing. Why am I totally drawing a blank on it? But you also have
Some convention.
It is a convention. And I can't remember what it is, but you also have C2E2 down in Illinois, which does quite a bit of card gaming. I played in my first real large scale event at C2E2 many years ago for Keyforge. I would like something to like go to, you know, and like have some fun. And yes, Dexter, no, I haven't been playing much of anything lately because, you know, work. I'll work and no play. Make Wookiee go crazy.
Well, book some time off around PAX East, and it's not 100% confirmed, but it is hopeful and planned. There will be some events at PAX East. So.
Nice. That's what I'd like to see, right? I'd like to see something where like, hey, here's our game plan. Kind of here's and even if they don't have any large scale events planned besides the Confluence, that's fine too. But say that. Right? I am really into like total transparency. If you have nothing planned for it, don't keep everybody on an edge and be like, okay, and then have nothing planned. But then also don't, you know, be surprised when it's like, oh yeah, we're going to have a big event next month and like 17 people show up, right? Because you got to book flights and hotels, and that's not something you can easily throw together in 30 days.
Yep.
All right. You got some rules updates on here, Mr. Cole. What do you got?
So I actually missed this article, and Dexter added it to the list. I read over it beforehand. Most of these to me are
Pretty common sense.
pretty much ones I already knew. It's just a further clarification based on questions. The one that is interesting to me that I think I have to ask Dexter about because it's more related to Ortis is the clarification in reference to Ortis cadets and Ratatoskr in Ortis.
Yeah.
And the question says, if another effect or ability somehow discards or sends to reserve or moves a card that says, create a token in my expedition, between the moment it's triggered and the moment it's resolved, what happens? So the rule's answer is, if an object that says in my expedition doesn't exist anymore, but its effect is still being resolved, it refers to the expedition it was last in. Is this a hypothetical made-up scenario to get
Yep.
ahead of? Okay.
I think the only time this would happen if you have a unique that says like when you play another character, sacrifice it to destroy something, and then the active player would also have to choose to destroy it before resolving the arrow or from reserve effect of the card that you played for that
Okay.
case to happen.
Yeah, that makes
I think
sense.
that's really the only scenario I can think of.
Yeah,
And
the
there is also a rare card that has sacrifice on it. In Ordis? I don't remember.
Does Ordis have Kuat? They do. Kuat.
Yes.
But wouldn't that already
But yeah, no, that
cadet
wouldn't
already
work.
satisfy? Yeah. So the question and the answer makes sense to me, and the answer is pretty like that's what I would have assumed. So it's not.
It's just all a hypothetical scenario.
It's not a new thing. It's just something I've never ran into. So
yeah, neither have I.
West will put a unique in the live chat that shows a Kraken. The stats and the cost don't make sense, but what it says is when I leave the expedition zone, you may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do, create 2 Ordis recruit tokens in my expedition. Okay, so yeah.
So it would refer back to the expedition that it was last in.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like I said, the interaction makes total sense. I think it was just a clarification.
Yeah, because I definitely see how some people would be like, it's not in any expedition anymore, so you can't make anything, but I could see it both ways, but this clarification makes sense.
Yeah. The other one I think is in
This sounds like someone tried to rules lawyer and then got like smacked. Was like, stop being dumb.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The other one that's interesting here is the one on Atlas. And really, it makes sense, but the reason it becomes more interesting is because when Trial by Frost is out, this interaction will happen more often. So what it says is, question, if a character is both gigantic and defender, for example, because I control both Atlas and Ghoul what happens? And the answer is my expedition for a gigantic character means my expeditions, plural. Therefore, a defender, gigantic character, would prevent both of their expeditions from moving forward. Now, the rules interaction does apply to Atlas in that situation they explained, but that will happen a lot more often in Trial by Frost because of chocolate bar that's going to make different characters gigantic. You're going to see things like Sakabaru can move back 2 expeditions in the same play. There's another card that I think I'm forgetting, but it's Trial by Frost.
Gigantic interactions. And just there's going to be more defender cards too.
Yep. And the main point of these articles is just clarity and giving updates. Because here it says, these are all the ruling clarifications we put out since we last communicated on November 11th, 2024. And then it even says the next rules and clarifications update is February 3rd. So they're already planning to clarify some of the Trial by Frost cards. The most interesting thing that a lot of people might not know is to account for the release of Trial by Frost, the update to comprehensive rules will be published on January 20th, 2025. So I think the comprehensive rules are at 1.1 right now. Yes. And I believe, I could be wrong, for that January 20th, it will be 2.0.
Yep. Makes sense.
So there are more rule clarifications in that article. They're pretty basic. Did you have any that took you by surprise, Dexter?
No, all of them made sense.
Yep. So
that Copelia thing was another kind of hypothetical scenario that's weird there, but I guess that makes sense too.
Yep.
Same kind of thing with the cadets and Ratatoskr.
Yep. And then the Arok and Kibble clarification is just can at noon effects be played with the activation of the effect? And it's no, because at the beginning of noon phase is when the at noon triggers are triggered, and it is simultaneous. And then starting with the first player, each player resolves them in the order of their choice, yada yada.
Yep.
So it's too late for that.
Yeah.
And if you've ever played Arok, it is very interesting how that ability works, because it does not activate from hand abilities, but it will activate from anywhere ability.
From anywhere.
So, but yeah, that's about it for the rule clarifications, but they will continue to keep releasing those updates so that all of the clarifications are there in a nice article.
Yep.
All right, let's
Then we want to go over the question now.
Yeah, so let's go into. We actually had a Patreon question this week. Thank you to all of our patrons, and thank you all of you who have stuck through my terrible reading tonight, and the people in the chat. Had a rough go of it today. Don't know why. And all of you who have subscribed, getting us ever so closer into the top 68 altered creators.
That is our main aspiration right now.
The dream is real, guys. So maybe by whatever set 3 is. I wonder what set 3 is going to be. Let's see. We went into like the normal world, right? I know it's Asgartha, right? It is.
Yes.
I keep calling it Asgard because let's be honest.
Yeah.
Now we're moving into Frozen. So I wonder, is set 3 going to be fire? I don't know. Right? We've been through normal, ice, maybe water. I guess we could go water, or maybe deeper into the jungle. I don't know. All right.
Holding out hope for the Shadow Realm. And
the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
That will probably be, whatever the next
That would be
batch,
set 4, probably.
I was going to say, whenever the next batch of heroes is coming, that would be my guess. Because that seems like a whole new thing, right? And it would seem like would be someone specific, there would be a faction specific to that, and then that's who you'd get. And if there are skeletons or ghosts or ghouls or anything like that, that will be the faction I'll be playing.
I like ghosts.
Ghosts? I know.
Ghost.
Ghosts. I'm going to say ghosts. I'm having a real tough time. It's late. The Wookiee's tired.
Do you want me to read the question?
I can get through the question. All right. I'm going to use my finger here, right, and go real slow. So, Josh Alexander, thank you to Josh for posting this question. Everyone on the cast seems to favor one faction above all. I'd like to hear you each design your dream hero for the class. Keep in mind, heroes give 1/1/1 stats worth of value each turn.
I think Dexter already had an answer for this, so I'll let
did some
Dexter
brainstorming from this question. So I do like Ortis the most, and that's my favorite faction because of Waru, and Waru's just like the perfect hero in my opinion. Like, does all the bureaucrat stuff. I love how that plays. But my second favorite faction is Ysmir, and I think a cool hero for Ysmir could just be at noon, sabotage 1. And you're required to sabotage 1 every turn, so it's likely that sometimes you'll be sabotaging yourself, but overall, over the course of the game, you'll be slowing down your opponent more than you for sure. So that seems about a stat 1/1/1. Definitely strong against Traced, and kind of like the anti-Finn, just taking away all of their reserves. Seems like fun to just destroy your opponent and make them not have any cards. Just going off that control mechanic for Ysmir, sabotage is fun.
So you kind of stole my idea there. And it's not necessarily sabotage. But my idea was I wanted a hero that, like, right as you're about to resolve everything, you roll a 12-sided dice. Yeah, it does. Well, Yeah, I guess dusk is the most appropriate time. I was trying not to say dusk because I don't know if that's the most appropriate time, but we can figure out a time later on. And I want you to roll a 12-sided dice.
Okay.
Because 12-sided dice is the dice least used, and it deserves more attention.
Really?
Yeah,
when do people roll D10s?
All the time.
When
Only
you're
for, like,
swinging
percentage purposes,
a
right?
battle axe, or
I was gonna say D&D use D10s all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and you use percentage dice, right? Like D12 is the redheaded stepchild of the dice community.
Okay.
Right? Like, you're never asked to roll a D12. And I want each of the D12 abilities to be something different.
Oh God.
Okay.
Like on a 1, you got to sacrifice a creature. On a 2, like, you can blow up a landmark. On a 3, you get to put something to sleep. On a 4, something gains fleeting. On 5, just absolutely balls to the wall stupid. Right? Like, I don't even know if I could give it 12 things, but it does 100% need to be a 12-sided dice.
Yep.
That would
That's super fun.
be epic. And although the heroes aren't, like legends, or I forgot what the other word is, that would be like a Van Gogh or something like that. Just a crazy,
just
Lyra
absolutely
artist.
Right. Yeah. Maybe it's missing an ear. Who knows? But like that, just like something absolutely insane. It could be total, like, it could be like total feast and famine too. Like, like some are just, and it affects like a little bit of everybody. Right. And something to give like that, add the +1 to die roll. Cause a lot of Lyra stuff still is like, if it's over 4, do a thing, and that's where the +1 to die roll comes in. But you could add some fun stuff where you're like, oh man, like, just add a minus to a die roll, right? Like, I really wanted that 4 and I rolled a 5. I'm going to use a quick effect to -1 to my die roll. And now I'm blowing up your bastion, suck it, Trebek, something like that. I don't know. You could actually have a ton of fun with this. Probably wouldn't be competitive in the slightest. But it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Why did you delete the question, Dexter?
Because he doesn't know what buttons he's pushing.
I didn't, as it reappears.
Oops.
Yeah, I just undid it.
So I represent Muna, of course, and I've thought about this like a little, but I'm gonna say I don't care about figuring out the balance or if it's broken or not right now. But I want a hero that feels like, gives me the feeling of plant growth.
Okay.
Maybe the ability is called like rampant growth or something, and it could be kind of cool because I don't. Yeah, so Rin doesn't get counters. Arjun doesn't get counters. I think it'd be cool to have a Muna hero that gets counters, similar to like
Okay.
Atsadi or Arak, where maybe you get 1 counter every
Traced.
plant you play. Yeah, or traced.
Oh, something more
And-
tribal. We talked about this before.
Yeah, and so the growth is either like they sprout roots and anchor based, like you can hand out the counters or something to anchor like anything, or they gain boosts, which is a form of growth. I feel like I had another thought and now it just
See, I think you can go one step
Inflating.
further with that too, right? Because I am a big fan of games that have alternate win mechanics. Might be why I like Lyra a little bit, because they could win the game by not actually winning the game,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of that. But I'm also a fan of like alternate lose the game mechanics. So you could have that growth, right? And you could grow. But at a certain point, like the growth starts hunting you.
Hey, there
Right.
you
And
go.
you can just be like, if you have X amount of growth counters, you just lose the game. Where like you get
Yeah.
this hugely competitive, like massively cool advantage. But like if it gets out of hand, you
If
just
it takes
lose.
too many turns,
Right.
you lose.
Yeah, and I think it would be really cool to see a reversal of the hero and companion. I am fairly certain every hero is human, every companion is
Yeah.
not. what about switching that where it's a treant and like a little hobbit or something?
Oh.
And the hobbit
Yeah.
is the companion. And
See, now you got
the
me
ent-
looking. I'm looking at some of the cards now. and
The
I'm
one
like,
that's the closest is probably Basira and Kaizamon, but that's still like a demon kind of thing. It looks human enough, I guess, but it's not.
Yep. And yeah, even though a lot of people say, what the hell is Wario's companion? What's its name?
Mac. It's
Mac?
a ferret.
Is it a ferret?
Even I think so, yeah.
No, Gulrangs. No, is it Gulrang the one that I'm confused on? I don't know.
Gulrang is like
a
the big
construction.
stone one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is it?
I
Toxin.
don't know lore enough.
I don't know what that even is.
Yeah,
He's got a giant horn.
Goal for 2025 is to sit down and learn more of the lore, but right now I'm too busy working on the Discord and the website and all the others.
All the things.
But yeah, a lot of people say Mac is the one that really calls the shots and is the evil one, and Waru's just an old dude listening to the animal in his ear.
Oh, so it's very like Lord of the Ring.
Crafty ferret.
Where like where like Max really is like worm tongue talking into the ear, and he's got him under some evil spell.
Yep.
To do bad bureaucratical things.
Yeah,
that
I
would
want
be
things
some
to grow.
That would be some cool lore.
That's it.
That would be
Let
some
it grow.
awesome lore. Do you think Z's hero would be an actual fire dog? Like I think when they do come out with the next set of companions, like there actually needs to be a fire dog, so he has to correct himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to actually say he was wrong, and it's actually a cat. Because it's clear. Sorry, still to this day, I still call it damn fire dog, but I look at the picture, I know it's a cat.
Fire dog.
I know it's a cat.
It's a cheetah. But fire dog sounds better.
Yeah, well.
And now there's a fire rabbit, but
yeah,
I think Zach's hero choice would be obvious. It would be a pirate of some sort.
Oh yeah,
which is kind of counter to Ordis, but you know maybe it's a turncoat pirate.
You know what it would be? It would be a special interest group. That's what it would be.
Yeah.
It would just be a ton of lobbyists. That's what it would be. That's Zach's hero.
Gonna play the BlackRock hero.
Oh jeez.
Dexter probably did not know that reference.
Dexter has no idea who or what BlackRock is. Not even a clue. Here, I got a fun question for you. So since all of this, it's very like mythical and legendary, right? And it's meant to be that way. Who have you not seen yet that you would bring in?
So what is very great about this question is when I was at PAX, Loki actually asked me this exact same question. And at first I was like, well, I'm not really into like mythology that much. And I think the characters that I would know and am kind of already into are either teased or already there.
Sure.
Like Demeter is coming in the next set, which is kind of like cool and close to like me and my home. Zeus, obviously everyone knows Zeus is technically already on a card, even though not a card yet. But after some conversation, I was like, shit, it can be anyone.
Yeah, it really could be.
Yep. My answer is Sherlock.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
All right. Right on. Dexter? You got anybody in mind?
I like the Egyptian gods.
Okay.
Those are cool.
There's a few of them.
One of those.
There's a few of them. Not
Anubis?
many. Anubis is in a set. I think there's one other one, if I remember correctly. Maybe it is just Anubis. I'm trying to remember, but it's not.
I think Isatok technically, but I have no idea the like legend or history of Isatok.
Well, mine's gonna drive you guys both wild. It's nobody based in mythology, but it is a legend.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, it's not. Oh, that's a good one. That'd be a good one. A wrestling faction.
Nice.
No, it's Clifford, the big red dog.
So there could be a fire dog.
So there could be a fire dog. I was every time I hear fire dog, I'm like Clifford, and I'm like, nope, Clifford's not in this. No, but that would be kind of cool. Or another dumb thing, Sesame Street characters. Oscar, I need a hero that exemplifies Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Lives in a can. I don't know who his companion would be. Oh, he has a companion. It's Wormy. Nobody's as excited as me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I do not know.
I don't know who.
So Oscar has a pet worm. Did you guys ever watch that? And we lost another listener. They're like, I'm out.
Pet worm is where I'm at.
Yeah, Oscar has a pet worm, Wormy. I totally forgot about that. So he definitely has a companion already. Make it happen, Altered. I'm giving you gold for free over here. Just kidding.
But for your wrestler, I think Basira is pretty close.
Probably.
And, Basira is that bitch. That's all I'm gonna say. And I really wish I could make my Basira deck work better. But maybe in next set.
Maybe in trial, TBF.
Yep. But
I always want to say
so
TBD,
much.
but it's not. But
yeah, for the question on Patreon, this is something that I will post on the Patreon, and if we get 1 or 2 questions, we'll probably just be able to answer them each episode. If we get a collection, maybe we'll do, a special thing.
I was gonna say we used to all the time, or we still do it in AC to this day because we get so many questions and we can't field them all. Like, we used to just open it up and be like, whatever your questions are, ask them now. Here's your chance. Well, we'll answer to the best of our ability, and we out.
Yep.
So.
I recently did a survey in the Discord. If you are not in our Discord, I do giveaways, I do surveys. There's lots of good stuff in the Discord. You can find it on our website. But there was a lot of feedback about what people want to see from the Patreon. And by far, the thing that was on almost every answer was deck feedback, deck reviews, deck. People want the deck.
That sounds like more of a Z thing.
Yeah.
So that might be once Z gets back, we're able to do more of that type of thing. Z, I love him, but Z's a nerd. He loves the numbers. He loves to test. He loves to tinker. He loves to toy. He loves to assign numbers to things. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a Z thing. So once Z is all settled into his new home and, gets all ready to go, we might be able to bring that back. I don't know, unless you feel comfortable doing that. I really don't.
Depends.
I'm still net decking.
If it's Muna, I think I have a pretty good handle until 14 days from now.
Yeah.
But I will post on the Patreon when we're ready to do that. Like, hey, send us your decks you want reviewed.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll have to be a special recording or something. But
we used to, again, talking about me and Z's past, we used to do stuff like that all the time over in Archons Corner Days, where it'd be like, hey, what do you think about this deck? And we'd take a look and we'd kind of talk it over and, is it good? Is it bad? Is it Vault Tour worthy? And kind of go from there. So it's definitely something we can look at into the future. Right now, again, Z's a little busy putting things in boxes.
Taking them out now.
Taking them out now, but at the time, still, he's a little busy putting stuff in boxes, which is fine. It's just he'll be back, and hopefully we'll get Zach back too. As much shit as I give Zach, I still enjoy talking to Zach. He's still an evil fuck, though. Just saying. So, but yeah, keep giving us your feedback. Keep giving us your questions. We might be able to answer a couple a week. And we got some stuff coming up for you guys. So, season 2 is upon you. May the odds forever be in your favor, or whatever we say in Altered.
Yeah, do you remember what a week from today is? Hopefully, cross your fingers that it's actually happening and everyone who said they are going to be there is going to be there.
I will be there. I have made special plans. Trial by Frost. Spoilers.
Yeah, the spoiler cast.
I know.
Yes.
All spoilers, the whole thing.
Look at it all.
Supposedly everyone's going to be there except for maybe Ogre, but we'll see.
Yeah. We miss you, Ogre. Come back. All right. But with that being said, we'll see y'all next week.
That's what you have in mind. If that's what it's